Mission protocol in progress.
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're taking a look at the 10 best Transformers video games.
Cover your bumper.
The robots in disguise have had a mixed bag when it comes to quality games, but when developers deliver, they show there is more than meets the eye. Which Transformers game is your favorite? Did it make the list? Let us know down in the comments. Before we begin, we publish new videos all week long, so be sure to subscribe to MojoPlays and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Transformers Animated, the game. Transformers Animated is certainly one of the best shows in the franchise with its unique art style and character designs. As for the video game, well, the game is surprisingly solid. Developed by Artificial Minded Movement, known today as Behavior Interactive, the studio behind Dead by Daylight, Transformers Animated the game offers up a good side-scrolling adventure on the DS filled with fun puzzles akin to the old Super Nintendo game, The Lost Vikings. It's basic, easy to grasp, and miles better than some of the other Transformers games that we were getting around this time. Transformers Earth Wars. Sure, most of us wouldn't give the time of day to a mobile game. A pompous remark, yes, but have you seen the state of mobile gaming? I mean, you can't blame people for thinking that way. Transformers Earth Wars paints a target on its own back by essentially being a clone of Clash of Clans, and yet it's fun? Fortify your own base, wage war with other players as either the Autobots or the Decepticons, and collect crystals to recruit other Transformers from across the franchise. Yes, it is a mobile game with microtransactions and gacha mechanics, but there really is a lot of fun to be had here between character interactions, building and improving your base, and challenging yourself to tear down bases of opposing players and seeing how creative others have gotten with their defenses. Honestly, I've been somewhat addicted to this game over the last month or so. It's not as egregious as you might think. Transformers War for Cybertron. There were plenty of reasons to be skeptical of War for Cybertron back when it was being marketed. It came at a time where shooters were trying to be like Gears of War and Halo, if not Call of Duty and Battlefield. Didn't help that it was weaseling in an online multiplayer component. To our surprise, War for Cybertron was one of 2010's coolest games. The multiple playable characters presented in each mission gave the campaign more replay value than most shooters at the time. As for the multiplayer, players could customize their very own Transformer before jumping into the PvP or PvE modes. Those who own the DS version even got 2 separate campaigns to play the story from both the Autobots and Decepticons' perspectives. It's everything we could have asked for from a Transformers game and more.
Firing grenade!
Transformers Beyond Reality. Did anyone else notice a Transformers game came out last year? For some reason, Beyond Reality seemed to have no marketing and was just eked out onto the PlayStation VR. And we gotta say, this game's kinda cool.
Mission protocol in progress.
Play through 6 challenging levels as you fight alongside the Autobots with your very own Cybertronian armor and weapons. Despite its short playthrough, it is an absolute thrill ride from start to finish. If you still have a PSVR, you should absolutely check this out.
And on the right.
Transformers Prime the game. While the console versions of this title were not too terrible, they weren't too decent either. Very middling. The 3DS version was the one worth playing, though. Honestly, it's simply a fun game that doesn't expect too much from you and won't make you sweat. The multiple playable characters in combat are enough for us to warrant a recommendation, if not the enticing offerings for multiplayer. We just wish that it wasn't stranded on a now dead handheld console. Rest in peace, 3DS. You had a heck of a library. Transformers Battlegrounds. Transformers Battlegrounds did not get much attention when it launched back in 2020, and we're not exactly sure why. If you like tactics games like XCOM or the Mario plus Rabbids games, this is well worth your time. As the new commander of the Autobots, you must give orders so that Bumblebee and the crew can fend off the Decepticons from stealing the Allspark. In addition to presenting a similar level of challenge as the aforementioned franchises, Transformers Battlegrounds also sports a local multiplayer so you and your friends can test your wits against each other. This game's a lot of fun. I wish it got a bit more attention than it actually did.
Ugh, next time, Bumblebee.
Transformers, Autobots, and Decepticons.
Dispatch, in pursuit of target. Copy.
Let's get one thing straight. Transformers the game, the game based on the 2007 movie, yeah, that was a bit of a train wreck. The DS counterparts are where you wanted to go, and they were released separately as Transformers Autobots and Transformers Decepticons. Create your very own Autobot or Decepticon, depending on which one you get, and experience a story from either side's perspectives. But one of the coolest aspects here was its online multiplayer. There, you could take part in a completely separate campaign where Autobots players and Decepticons players competed and earned points across various challenges. For taking part in these challenges, you could earn tokens to unlock other characters and even cheats to use in the offline campaign. It's a pretty meaty package for a handheld game, especially when you're looking at the Nintendo DS. Like, man, got a lot of bang for your buck on this one.
Gave his life for nothing. His sacrifice will be your undoing.
Transformers Devastation.
I've been itching for a fight. Come on!
Platinum Games has certainly seen a rocky career since their founding in 2007. However, Transformers Devastation has continued to be one of the handful of games to shine bright. Take control of one of 5 Autobots, Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Sideswipe, Grimlock, and Wheeljack, and unleash insane combos in a vein remarkably similar to Bayonetta's combat. On top of that, the G1 art style washed us with a wave of nostalgia that's borderline overwhelming, in a good way. We only hope some of you were able to nab it before it was delisted from digital storefronts in 2017.
I will not let you take victory away from me!
Transformers Fall of Cybertron.
Keep the pressure on!
Compared to its predecessor, Fall of Cybertron feels much more scaled back in ambition, and yet it did no harm in the final outcome. Fall of Cybertron introduced a new format where each chapter gave players a new character with their own set of skills to play with. And this time, you didn't have just the usual Autobots.
At every turn, you have thwarted my efforts to save this planet, to return it to its former glory.
Dinobots now rampaged their way into the storyline. Multiplayer, on the other hand, was just as fun as before, with the character customization in different game modes. To this day, Fall of Cybertron is one of those Transformers games that is just on another level of excellence. And yet, can't seem to play it anymore because it got delisted from digital storefronts. So sad. Transformers.
They're calling to other minicons on Earth.
We'll track it from HQ. Roll out!
Regardless of whether you're a casual or hardcore Transformers fan, there simply has not been an experience like this one. Developed by Atari for the PlayStation 2, Transformers was one of those extremely rare licensed games that was fantastic than most with its visuals, weapon variety, and frenetic action. The polish and attention to detail in making the game fun shows that the development team were excited and cared about the IP. Why Hasbro hasn't called up Atari to have them migrate the game forward to modern hardware is an enigma, especially considering how many folks today missed out on this hidden gem from years and years and years ago.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, there's more where that came from.